Hey guys, what's up? It's once again mp4podcast.com, and today we're probably looking at the greatest Android photography application of all time. It's called Camera360. The paid version is called Camera360 Ultimate. I haven't really seen a big difference between the paid and the free version. However, we'll be looking at the Ultimate because there must be something in the Ultimate Edition, I guess. However, I highly recommend you guys at least download the free version. It is an amazing application. Here we're going to look into effects, and let's just go to the beginning right over here. We have random Japanese style. Kind of it has a vintage pink tint to the film. Now, if you're interested in the Japanese style, you may want to also look at the 8mm app that is for the iPhone. If you have an iPhone, and get the 8mm app, and that has that really nice Japanese look. Just to let you guys know, if this is the first video you're watching, I review Android and iPhone applications. Art of black and white. Now that's a certain type of black and white. You know, sometimes they pull the blacks really down, really get that rich tone. Sometimes they pull the whites. Sometimes they pull the grays. You know, they're basically playing with the contrast. So there are three different types of black and white photography in this application. Here we have HDR light. Now HDR light, what it does is this application actually works a little bit different than my iPhone application. The iPhone application, what the iPhone application does is take two individual HDR photographs. What this application does, it takes sections of a photograph of an image. So let's say I'm taking a picture of a person, and above them is the sky. It's going to take a picture of just the sky, and then I'll just take the bottom picture of that person, and then I'll stitch it back together. Where I guess on the iPhone it's a little bit different. I have HDR on the iPhone. It takes two images and then it merges those together. This is a much faster way of doing HDR. However, the HDR application I have on the iPhone does let me play with the contrast, but it specializes in HDR. However, I really do like this application. Of course, you can always take the photograph, pop it into Photoshop or any other photography application and play with it that way. Retro is really cool. I really like this. I really like retro when it has that purplish tone to it, kind of, and the 8mm app for iPhone also has that. Effect enhancement, that's new. Low-mo, heavy HDR. Heavy HDR takes three segments of the frame, and and then stitches the three sections back together to give you the HDR of heavy. Dramatic effect, really poppy colors. Here we have colorful, really exaggerated colors. Here we have back to 1839. This type of black and white photography kind of has a very soft picture tone to it, because I guess the films really weren't that good back then, especially the lenses. And I was watching the History Channel. They actually have photographs of Abraham Lincoln, and somehow they took pictures on glass, or maybe they put the chemicals on glass. I think one of the photographers actually dropped the frame of Abraham Lincoln, and there's a crack in the photograph. It's pretty big. Imagine somebody had to stand still for about 5 or 10 seconds because that's how slow the shutters were. Here we have black and white visual storm. This one, really pulls down the blacks, this one gives a nice rich texture to black and white photography. Here we have dramatic effect. Here's another one, pretty much probably the same, maybe as black and white visual storm. It pulls down on the saturation, gives that nice pull on the deep colors. So here we'll go back. Here we'll go into scenario, and here you have a man in the city, downtown probably, and he's making a a painting of something. So you can put something, you know, I don't know, so you can see that is that line. So you're going to put that picture, and it'll look like he's painting a picture of whatever you're taking. So that's kind of a cool effect. I like that. Funny, you know, Cyrillic, black and white painting, line sketch, fisheye, vertical left, you know, Cyrillic color painting, 4 color posters. That kind of looks like something funky from the 70s. Ghost, vertical right, infrared thermal imagery in case you want to pretend like you're Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell. So a lot of great features here. Go back into the filters. Here we have tilt shift. Tilt shift is pretty good. It's not the best tilt shift. I do like the tilt shift that I have on my iPhone. I'm able to either pick the you know, the straight lines or pick a circle and then play with the colors. However, this is still very good. Keep in mind it's an application that has a ton of great filters. Color shift. Basically, you just pick any part of the image where you want to specify colors on that. And then, of course, you have normal. You know, I just want to take a normal picture. And did we do funny? Yeah, we did funny. Okay, so then we have right here, oops, go back. And we're going to go into settings. We have size. Now, this is also in the free version, large. I recommend taking large pictures just because you get a higher resolution. And when the camera has more, a larger image to render with, it's going to have, you'll have better pictures. Auto, I guess that's, you know, the white light, fluorescent. This is white balance. Cloudy, blah, blah, blah. Just to give you guys a little tip on white balance when you're working with photography. If you're outside on a sunny day, but you don't want to make sure you're shooting into the clouds or the sun or anything, maybe you're like, there's a wall that you can be behind or there's a tree. If I think if you pick cloudy or whatever, it'll give it a blue tint. And now it looks like nighttime. Sometimes they do that. They'll actually film a night scene during when the sun's out. And one of the worst ones that ever did it wasn't too bad. It was the first Mortal Kombat. I think it's the first scene. You can actually see the sun reflecting off of their face. You know, the shine. You know, because the reflections, you can see the hot spots from the sun reflecting off the skin. They filmed that during the day, and then they put like a blue filter over it. I guess it was probably just easier to film like that and bring in heavy floodlights. So you got a bunch of white balance effects. You got timer, macro, go back to regular autofocus, pre-focus. You got off, manual. So you got manual focus, flash, I think it has auto, yeah, just leave it on auto, GPS, and, you know, here you go, you know, so you can go right back to the filters quickly. So let's go here, effects, and we'll see if that goes back to, yeah, it goes back to the filters that you're in. If you want to go back to all the sections, just hit over here. It has anti-vibration. That's awesome. That's really good if you're doing HDR and you want to have a little bit more of a steady hand. It's just a really great application. I'm going to leave links to both the free version and the paid version. And you know, if you guys want to leave some video responses, if you took any photographs with this application, you can just drop in your photographs and Windows Movie Maker. If you don't know how to make videos, it's really easy. You can just pop your photos in there. I probably would recommend letting the photo display for about 5 seconds, and then you can probably just put an audio track. I'll also be leaving 2 links to royalty-free music. Adding a little bit of an audio track makes it a little bit more fun to listen to or watch a video per se. Yeah, so this, you can use iMovie if you're on a Mac, and I know there's a video editor for Linux, and if you're using Linux, you probably already know about that. Yeah, so anyway, guys, it's mp4podcast.com. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel. I'm always doing new Android applications all the time. So once again, guys, it's mp4podcast.com. Signing out. You guys take care. Later, guys. Bye.